He's on his way up. Now, this is called a dowsing rod. This is electronic dowsing rod, apparently, and they cost about $1,600. This is called the Electra Search X60. Come and take the chair, please. How do you do? What is your name? Russell. Russell. Right, sit down, sir. This is an electronic wonder. This is full of all kinds of charm and technology and good things like that. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to look in. I'm going to, well, first of all, it opens up like this, you see. It's much more spectacular that way, and it costs a lot more. And it's supposed to point at explosives, you see. And it'll point at engineers. So, well, look at that! It works very well. I'm going to take this antenna off, and I'm going to show you something about the antenna in a moment. But meanwhile, come on. There we go. I'm going to ask you to take those rubber bands off very carefully, and the box will come in two pieces. Now, this machine has killed hundreds of people in Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq. It is manufactured in the UK. This is not the same machine exactly. It's exactly the same thing as far as the wiring and such goes. In Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan, people have used this as an explosive detector. And I have a friend in the CIA, I won't tell you what department of the CIA, and he works in Afghanistan and in other countries as well. And he called me one day, and he said, I have just seen a horrendous explosion that was fatal to a few people and blew up a couple of buildings. He said, I was there at the border point when a truck drove in, a panel truck, and they didn't bother to inspect it for explosives or weapons. They just waved the ADE 561 rod at it. And the U.S. government spent $1.2 billion to buy these things and send them off to these three countries. That's my tax money, friends. And for all I know, maybe they were sent from Canada too, I don't know. But he said that truck took off down the road, 200 yards down the road, it blew up, killed some people, and blew a couple of buildings down at the same time. He said, I didn't stick around because I was so disgusted by this, and the ambulances are running all over the place. Now, you see a circuit here, sir. Yeah. Any idea what it might do?
But just looking at it, no.
Nothing. Now here we have a piece of ribbon wire. You see, this is fancy electronic stuff. It's all different colors. Got 8 conductors in it. And it loops around the box, and here's the other end. Not connected to anything. Oh, one strand is connected right to this screw here, which connects to the rod. Now, what is in the rod? I took it apart. No, I took this apart, ladies and gentlemen, and the reason that I hesitated a bit, this didn't belong to me. It belongs to a fellow who collects nonsense like this. He calls it, what's this technical term for it? Crap. He collects electronic crap like this, and he gave me this to use in this demonstration. And I took the seals. They have some glue down there. Hot glue was poured into the crack. And it says right at the bottom there, if you take the screws out or you violate the security of this, you'll lose the warranty. It voids the warranty. My warranty is lost. Well, not my warranty, his warranty. In other words, they don't want you to look inside. What this circuit actually is, very interesting. There's a circuit board here. Now those are high precision resistors. You can see there's some of them were wire wound resistors, well, capacitors, and some little other businesses here, all kinds of stuff. But this circuit board is from 35 years ago, when Motorola used to make remote controls for televisions. That's what it is. It's for a remote control television. I got another model of this too. The same package, the same designations on it, the same meters and switches on the front, but it's a circuit board for a refrigerator for controlling the freezing of the ice cubes inside there. You just paste it inside, it's just pasted. It's not even glued, pardon me, and not only screwed in, it's just pasted in there with hot glue and not connected to anything. It doesn't do a damn thing except take the lives of hundreds of people who use this supposedly to find explosives. And inside here, this is even more fun. This night, they also mentioned you must not open up this capsule here, see? Well, I opened it up, silly me. Took a couple of wrenches, put it on there, and inside, I found a material that I sent to my chemist friend in New York City. I said, I think I know what it is, Jim, but let me know what you think. And he analyzed it, took it apart, there's a green substance, green crystals inside there. And there was a burned out, a couple things, a burned out resistor, a carbon filament resistor inside, just floating around in the box. It makes a clicking noise when you shake it. That's all it's there for. It's a burned out resistor that doesn't work and it's not connected to anything. And the green stuff in there was green aquarium sand. Nothing more. But this is supposed to be especially tuned material, tuned only to explosives. That's the kind of stuff that the American government, and I fear your government as well, has been spending money on, and it's deadly. Sir, I want to thank you for your considered attention. Thank you for coming up. And this is a simple old bicycle swivel here. Nothing to it whatsoever. And yet, you cannot get these things forbidden. Oh, the UK stopped manufacturing them, by the way, when they found out that it was a fake. They stopped manufacturing them. Well, not stopped manufacturing, they stopped exporting them. They said, you can go ahead, you can make as many as you want, but don't export it to the Mideast. You're forbidden to do that. So what he did is he exported them to Canada, and from Canada they were sent to the Mideast. And of course, every official along the way made his cut on the thing until they were costing over $6,000 a piece at the point of use. Yes, you had a question.
Sorry, I know it's not the question period, but I just want, if there was, let's say, an explosive and you popped it and it doesn't work, so it doesn't do a beep or anything.
No.
Okay.
And there are lights in the front, and the circuitry that's in here only controls the lights and the meter there. You can turn the potentiometer and the meter will go back and forth. It doesn't mean anything.
So the army guys who were risking their lives,
they
didn't even just like do a test themselves to put like an explosive and just go, okay, there's nothing, and there beep, there's no beep.
Not at all. But a colonel did do a test. An American colonel, I guess you'll be happy to know. He put the swivel on the thing there, and he put up a box of explosives in the middle of the room, and he fiddled with it until it turned over and pointed to the explosive. He didn't put 5 boxes up there, one of which contained explosives, unknown to him, and then come into the room and find the explosive. No, he just wanted to see if it pointed the explosive. As soon as it swung around, because it's a free swivel, and pointed it, see, it worked. That's not a test at all. It's certainly not double blind, and it's not a scientific test. I offered to do these tests for them. I offered to go over to the theater of war and show them that the damn thing didn't work. And they said, no, we don't need a magician. I think they do. And I'm very angry about this whole thing because it's taking civilians and military lives. It's a shame. It is something we should be very, very much ashamed of, that we have anything to do with this kind of thing.